Hello, welcome back to SCI Teach. So, you have read the text, the Lekki Headmaster, and you've listened to the summary, chapter by chapter summary I provided in my previous videos. Now, it's time to see how much you can remember from that text. So, I'm going to be asking questions. Before then, if you've not read the text already, these questions are going to be difficult for you to answer. So you're just going to be guessing, which it's not a nice way to prepare for exams. So if you've not read it and you need the PDF, send a mail to us at sciteachlab at gmail.com. sciteachlab at gmail.com. Send a message there with your name and location, requesting for a PDF of the novel, The Lekki Headmaster, so that you can read and then come back here and answer the questions and see how easy it will be for you to answer. So these are the expected questions if you read and understand the text Lekki Headmaster. So let's go. Question 1. What was Bepo's reaction to Kemi's use of the term Japa? So the questions are not arranged in an order of chapter 1, chapter 2, because I'm setting these questions in as though you are writing JAMB. They don't need to ask you question 1 to come from the first chapter. So I'm just mixing up everything, asking from general knowledge of the text. Okay, so pay great attention. So what was Bepo's reaction? Bepo is the principal, remember? Reaction to Kemi's use of the term Japa. Option A, he ignored it entirely. B, he felt uneasy about how children understood such concepts. C, he corrected her, explaining it was inappropriate. D, he laughed and encouraged the humor. So if you read the text, you will discover that option B is correct. That is, he felt uneasy about how children understood such concepts. So if you see in the text, the supporting quotes that shows that that's the correct answer is that where you see Bepo felt uneasy at the expression Japa. He wondered how at her age Kemi knew the term and whatever it meant. So you see that's the correct option, B. Question 2. Why did Bepo refuse to carry Iru, as Iru is locust beans, and Egusi to London? Why did he not carry Iru and Egusi to London? Option A, he felt they were unnecessary for his journey. B, he wanted to avoid embarrassment at customs. C, his wife discouraged him from carrying heavy items. D, he prioritized packing books and clothes. So if you read the text, you would see that option C is correct. His wife had actually discouraged him from carrying heavy items because his wife had advised that he come as light as he could. Of course, that didn't mean that he shouldn't carry Iru or Egusi, but traveling as light as you could be is to carry the essentials only. So what you wear and then what you can't do without. So that is the supporting text to show that C is the correct option. Question 3. Why was Bepo particularly moved during the Canoe dance performance at Stardom Schools? A, it reminded him of his leadership role in promoting Nigerian culture. B, it transported him to the painful history of slavery in Badagry. C, it symbolized his deep connection to his students. And D, it reminded him of a dance he performed as a child. So option B is correct. It transported him to the painful history of slavery in Badagry. So you can see in the text where it read, As whips tore the flesh of the naked slaves and blood oozed from their skins, Bepo felt their pains. Greatly distressed, he wondered why nobody stepped in to stop the cruel handlers. So, um, this canoe dance reminded him of this occurrence. Question 4. What lesson did Bepo learn from his previous experience of missing a flight? A. Always travel light. B. Check tickets thoroughly and plan ahead. C. Avoid evening flights to reduce risks. D. Trust the airline staff for support. So the correct answer is option B. Check tickets thoroughly and plan ahead. So you can see from the text, his lateness at the time was due to sheer oversight. He had not carefully checked his ticket. He pleaded frantically um, to be reconsidered, but the airline insisted the door had been closed. So he learned from that, and this time he had to check his tickets and plan ahead. So option B is the correct answer. Question 5. What does Bepo's decision to coach Jide in elocution and history reveal about his character? A. His dedication to education extends beyond formal settings. B. He wanted to prepare Jide for a future in politics. C. He felt obligated as a tenant to assist the landlord's family. D. He was trying to avoid loneliness on weekends. So the correct answer is option A. His dedication to education extends beyond formal settings. So you see in the text, Beppo had taken special interest in the boy for about a year after he began coaching him on elocution and African history at weekends. It wasn't a paid affair, but Beppo always enjoyed sessions with the boy. It wasn't a paid affair. A paid affair is his salary. That's done in school. So it's not something like okay, he's only serious with his dedication to teach in education when he's in school. When he's out of school, okay, he can reduce in dedication. No, but even when he wasn't paid, he was dedicated to teaching this boy. So his dedication extends beyond school. Outside school, he still does that dedication with he still does his job with dedication. So option A is the correct answer. His dedication to education extends beyond formal settings. Question 6. Why did Bepo feel guilty while leaving Jide? Option A. He felt like he was abandoning a potential mentee. B. Jide had begged him to take him along to London. C. He realized he had not spent enough time with Jide. D. Jide's parents expressed disappointment at his departure. So option A is correct. He felt like he was abandoning a potential mentee. So in the text you see, beyond the Japa palaver, Beppo felt guilty that he would be abandoning Jide. He had taken special interest in the boy for about a year. So that confirms to us that option A is the correct option. Question 7. What does the point of no return symbolize in Bepo's dream at the airport? Option A personal fear of irreversible decisions. B. The cultural disconnection caused by migration. C. The historical trauma of slavery and displacement. Option D. A metaphor for losing touch with his students. Option C is correct. That point of no return symbolizes the historical trauma of slavery and displacement. Question 8. Why did the landlord decide to drive Bepo to the airport? Option A. To save him from the expense of calling an Uber. B. to honor their strong bond as neighbors. C. To ensure Bepo left on time for his flight. D. To surprise him with a farewell gesture. So the correct option is option B, to honor their strong bond as neighbors. So in the text, you see it reads, "You will not need to. I will drive you to the airport." The landlord said, "You have been very good to us, Mr. Bepo. That cannot be anything too much." So that's the supporting text to show that option B is correct, to honor their strong bond as neighbors. Question 9. What was the significance of the school's victory song after Bepo's return? A. It symbolized unity and triumph despite challenges. B. It celebrated the end of Bepo's tenure. C. It was a routine performance for every school event. D. It was an expression of gratitude for their principal. Option A is correct. It symbolized unity and triumph despite challenges. So you can see that in the lyrics of the song. It was no night so dark, no cloud so mean, yet stardom schools will win. So that was symbolizing triumph despite challenges. Question 10. What was Bepo's final statement to the students upon his return? A. I am back. My mission is not completed. B. This is where my heart is. I am not leaving again. C. I will never leave Stardom Schools. D. My journey begins again, right here. What was Bepo's final statement to the students when he returned? So option B is correct. This is where my heart is. I am not leaving again. How do we know that? In the text it reads, I am back. I am back, he cried. I didn't go. I am not going again. My heart is here. This is where my heart is. So that's the supporting text that shows that B is the correct answer. This is where my heart is. I am not leaving again. Question 11. What mode of transportation did Bepo initially consider before his landlord offered to drive him? A. A private taxi. B. Uber. C. Okada, that's motorcycle. D. Public bus. Option B is correct. Uber. In the text we see, as he was about to call Uber a ride-hailing service, he heard a knock on the door. That's when the landlord came to offer to drive him there. So option B, Uber, is correct. Question 12. Why did Bepo sell his Pathfinder SUV for 1.5 million naira? Question A, to settle debts before his trip. B, to reduce the number of personal items he owned. C, to fund his relocation and travel expenses. D, to gift it to Stardom's accountant. So option C is the correct option there, to fund his relocation and travel expenses. Question 13. What was Mrs. Grace Appel's primary reason for meeting Bepo at his home before his trip? Option A, to assist him in packing for the trip. B, to confirm he was prepared to leave. C, to give him a surprise farewell send-off. D, to join him in heading to the airport. So option D is correct, to join him in heading to the airport. And the supporting quote is where we see, with her in the car were the accountants, Mr. Oyelana and Mr. Audu. They had planned to join Bepo at home and accompany him to the airport. With her, this Mrs. Grace Ape was in the car, the accountant and Mr. Audu. Okay, so option D is correct. Question 14. What was the significance of the Canoe dance to Bepo's cultural identity? A. It showcased his commitment to Nigerian cultural preservation. B. It reminded him of the unity in diversity at Stardum's schools. C. It symbolized his role in teaching African history. And D. It represented his leadership in extracurricular activities. So the correct answer is option A. It showcased his commitment to Nigerian cultural preservation. In the text, you see, even as he was leaving, Bepo was happy. The dance had come to stay at Stardom's schools. Question 15. Why did Bepo shout no in his sleep at the airport? Option A. He was startled awake by a loud announcement. B. He dreamt of the brutality of slavery in Badagry. C. He thought he was being forced to leave his students behind. D. He felt the emotional weight of saying goodbye to his school. Option B is correct. He dreamt of the brutality of slavery in Badagry. You see in the text, when he dreamt about that slavery stuff, he shouted, "No!" He screamed with all the strength he could muster, body, mind, spirit, and soul. So option B is correct. Question 16. What item did Bepo prioritize packing over foodstuffs? A. Cultural artifacts. B. Clothes and books. C. Gifts for his wife. D. Traditional music instruments. Option B is correct. Clothes and books. So you see in the text, Bepo packed two big bags and a smaller one. They contain books and wear in that order. Question 17. Why did Bepo initially hesitate to let his landlord drive him to the airport? Why did he hesitate initially? A. He didn't want to inconvenience the landlord. B. He preferred using Uber to maintain independence. C. He had already arranged for another driver. And then D. He thought the landlord's car wasn't big enough. Option A is correct. He didn't want to inconvenience the landlord. So you see in the text, "Oh, that will be taking on too much. Please don't inconvenience yourself, sir," Bepo replied. So option A is correct. He didn't want to inconvenience the landlord. Question 18. How did Bepo describe Lagos traffic in relation to Okadas, as motorcycles? How did he describe Lagos traffic relating to Okadas? A. An ever-present challenge for city dwellers. B. A nuisance that became a saving grace during emergencies. C. A problem solved by ride-hailing services. D. A reason for banning private vehicles. So option B is correct. A nuisance that became a saving grace during emergencies. So you can see in the text, when Lagos traffic became a demon waged between you and a very important appointment, Okadas were the messiahs. So that's the proof that option B, a nuisance that became a saving grace during emergencies, is the correct answer. Question 19. What did the landlord's grandson, Jide, humorously request from Bepo? A. To take him to the airport. B. To buy him gifts from London. C. To take him along to London. D. To return and teach him more history. Correct answer is option C, to take him along to London. You see in the text, he said, "I will follow you," Jide, the landlord's grandson, cut in. "To the airport or London?" Bepo asked, and it was to London. All right, so that's option C, to take him along to London, was the correct answer for question 19. Question 20. What did the bold word "departures" at the airport evoke in Bepo? Option A, a sense of relief that he was finally leaving. B, emotional distress about leaving his life behind. C, confidence about starting a new life abroad. D, anxiety about missing his flight. Option B is correct. The bold word departures at the airport um, evoked emotional distress about leaving his life behind. You see in the text when he saw the word departures, the word boldly splashed on the building, ruffled Bepo's emotion. It was real after all. He was leaving. So option B is correct. Question 21. What gift did Bepo give to the landlord's grandson at the airport? A. A heartfelt letter of appreciation. B. A small sum of money as a parting token. C. A book on African history. D. Personalized souvenirs from Stardom schools. So option B is correct, a small sum of money as a parting token. So you see in the text, Bepo handed them a cash gift, much to their delight. Option B is correct for question 21. Question 22. How did Bepo's colleagues lighten the mood during his airport send-off? Option A, by sharing jokes about his legacy at Stardom schools. B, by reminiscing about their shared struggles as educators. C, by joking about borrowing money and visas. D, by singing the school's anthem. So option C is the correct answer, by joking about borrowing money and visas. So you see in the text, the only thing I am happy about is that it is not the accountant advising me on what I should borrow, Audu said, smiling. So that's what helped lighten the mood, or Bepo's mood at the airport. So option C, by joking and borrowing about borrowing money and visas, is the correct answer for question 22. Question 23. Why did the students shout "Principal" during assembly? A. They thought it was a joke when the MD mentioned the new principal. B. They wanted to honor Bepo's departure. C. They saw Bepo unexpectedly return to the school. D. They were mimicking his favorite catchphrase. So you see option C is the correct answer. They saw Bepo unexpectedly return to the school. In the text you see, a shout of "Principal" reverberated at the gate. Was it a joke? All at once, everybody looked in the direction. So that's when they saw Bepo, the principal, return, and he was at the gate, and they ran everybody to hug and carry him on their shoulders. Question 24. What was Bepo's declaration upon his return to Stardom schools? Question A, or option A, my mission here is incomplete. B, this is my home. I am not leaving again. C, I am back to fulfill my destiny. D, I am back. This is where my heart is. So option D is correct. You've seen similar questions like this before. I am back. This is where my heart belongs, or this is where my heart is. That was his declaration. The other question was not about this declaration, but the answer was the same thing. So this one is declaration. The other question was about statement, but this one is declaration. Understand what declaration means. What you want to do, what you have decided to do and want to do it. So he decided that this is where his heart is. This is where he wants to be. So the supporting quote is, I am back, he cried. I didn't go. I am not going again. My heart is here. This is where my heart is. So his heart was not in traveling. That's why he was even not quick in accepting the travel plan. So whatever happens about this traveling thing was just a test to see where his heart really was. So he has confirmed that his heart is in Stardom's school. So option D, I am back. This is where my heart is correct. Question 25. What did the students do after Bepo announced his return? A. Hugged him and cried tears of joy. B. lifted him on their shoulders and danced. C. Sang the school anthem in unison. D. Organized a quick assembly in his honor. Option B is the correct answer. Lifted him on their shoulders and danced. You see, they swept him off his feet, bore him high on their shoulders, and began a frenzied dance around the premises. So option B is the correct answer for question 25. So for this episode, this is where we're going to stop. 25 questions. Now, you should have already known there are some questions I've not mentioned that are very important before you even start. You should be able to read the cover page, the back, about the author. What is the author's name? Who is the writer of the book? That's what I mean. What is the book? Is the novel a fiction? And all that. You should be able to read and understand all those because you may see them in your exam. So in the next videos, I'll be posting more questions. I want to deal with them. 25 questions each, so that it won't be too long for you to listen or practice, and also understand how this text has unraveled life as a teacher or educator. All right, so especially the aspect that it shows you how olden days teachers behaved, okay, how they were always committed. Now, take for instance the aspect of teachers in the olden days being role models. What I mean is, you see, a teacher was not only a teacher in the school, just like Bepo was teaching, was doing his job even when he was not in school, not in the formal setting. In the olden days, it was like that. If you watch the olden days Nigerian movies, you will see that teachers were always like almost like kings. They pass on the road, they see something wrong, they correct it. And people respected them because they believe they are the educated ones. And then, but today you see teachers can pass by and you don't even know. I mean, things can go wrong and teachers are, they don't care and stuff like that. So that's the dedication that this book is portraying back, how olden days teachers were. So this book can teach you a lot of aspects of education, especially for teachers and also students, to see how life in the eyes of this man is almost like that of yours. You see, if you read through the story, you see similar things to what happens in your own schools. And so it makes you feel, wow, okay, so that means or whatever I'm going through here is the same everywhere. And then it gives you a sense of belonging, that we're all the same, teachers, students, wherever, whatever location it is. Okay, so this is the end of this episode of the expected questions from Lekki Headmaster. Next episode, we are going to continue from question 26 to 50. Share this, subscribe to this channel, and share this video to others so that they will get ready for these coming exams. Thank you. God bless you.